Hey, free comedy show, plenty of seats, plenty of tickets left, guys. Free show. Fuck's sake.
Just another movie night.
Hey everybody, how you doing? We are just another movie night, and I am Scott. Oh, hey Joe.
Oh, wow.
We're really messed up here
Wow,
already.
I mean,
Turn your volume off. will
okay,
ya?
well, usually you always say, oh, and with me
Not
as
all the
always
time.
is my girl.
No, not all the time.
Oh, so, okay, you want to keep me on my toes. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's Joe.
I'm Joe.
If everybody doesn't know.
Okay, I'm Joe.
And today we are doing before and after reviews, where we go see a brand new movie in the theater and give our thoughts before and after, spoiler free. Unless we say so.
Yeah. Unless the movie is like a real big piece of crap, and then, we have to talk about spoilers, and
Yeah.
it turns into talking trash, and
Or there's some kind of need for a spoiler talk.
yeah.
Today we're seeing a movie that I am actually one of the movies I was kind of the most psyched for because it came out of nowhere. I wasn't aware of this movie coming out. And then we finally saw a trailer and I instantly was shocked that I hadn't heard of this movie and I was really stoked to see it. So we're talking about Saturday Night, which is Jason Reitman.
Yes.
Yeah, and which has a good track record for the most part without Ghostbusters. Like, I'm okay on the Ghostbusters films. They're fine. But he, besides that, has produced some of the best films in the last blank amount of years and also directed some of my favorites of the last few years or the last blank amount of years. So I'm really excited to see this because I am a big SNL fan and I've grew up with this and I've been intrigued by it. I've read books on it and it's produced some of the best comedians, some of our, I would say some of the funniest people around have worked on this show. And I've been fascinated by it for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've even watched the old episodes. I've watched everything. I went back and watched repeats. It used to be a thing that I would come home from school and watch repeats on Comedy Central, whatever Comedy Central was before Comedy Central. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a really cool idea how Lorne Michaels started SNL and what he had to go through to even get this made and how he had to work with so many big personalities and celebrities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super intrigued by this.
Is this the longest running television show?
It
so
has
far?
to be, right?
It is, right?
I mean, there's some soap operas that I don't know, maybe. I don't know what's still going on,
yeah,
and I don't
soap
know.
operas have been going on. I mean, I think General Hospital started in the late or the early 70s? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Huh, I don't know. Well,
I mean, well, this started how many years this has been on now? Do we know? I'm like, I don't know the number at this point.
50?
It has to be way longer than that.
I don't know, but it seems like forever. You know what else it seems like? Lorne Michaels doesn't age.
He doesn't. Yeah, I that's what I'm also intrigued by because I remember when he has played himself in some movies because I remember when he played himself in Man on the Moon,
Yeah.
which this movie's actually going to show some of that because Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, it's 50 years, by the way.
It's only been 50 years?
It's going on 50 years because it was 1975 that it came out. It aired
Wow, I thought it was longer.
on NBC since 1975 and has become one of the longest running programs in television. Yeah, that long.
Wow, I for some reason felt like it was 60 years at
Almost
least.
50. So, I mean, that would make Lauren pretty, like, what, pushing 80?
Well, I don't know what age he started this, but yeah, he's been, I think he only left for like 1 year or something like that when there was that really bad year
Yeah.
where a bunch of amazing celebrities came in.
No, you're talking about the Downey Jr.
Yeah, the Downey Jr. year.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony
that
Michael
one.
Hall, Randy Quaid,
They all last in one season.
they all got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lorne Michaels is 79, so that makes
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a very intriguing concept, a very intriguing story. It is a fascinating thing, and for people who don't know, the celebrities who were in the beginning of this, I believe George Carlin was like the first guest. I think Andy Kaufman and Jim Henson.
Ugh.
Jim Henson
yeah.
got his start. Not his start, but one of his breaks into TV was on the show, and famously, they didn't like it. They didn't like what he was doing. They didn't think that this was the right avenue for him, and probably not.
Well, no.
Yeah, I mean,
We learned that he belongs on Sesame Street.
well, the Muppets.
Oh, yeah.
The Muppets feel like almost a version of this, and I feel like the Muppets were always kind of mocking the insanity behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So I always thought that was a really intriguing concept in itself. So just seeing all these people and how they got their break, and I don't know how far they're going to explore if they're just doing the first episode.
Oh God.
Like they're just setting up how he made the first episode up to launch.
I mean, if they wanted to, if they wanted to explore Lorne Michaels, like really explore him, this would be a 4-hour movie at least.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be his life. I think it's just going to be the making of that hit.
Oh, okay. It's only like not even 2 hours, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm this is one of the ones I'm hyped for.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just recently became hyped because I didn't know about this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh my God, how have I not heard about this?
Yeah, this is not like a highly anticipated movie. It kind of just like slapped me in the face, and I'm like, what the heck is this?
Those are the ones I'm usually most interested in, a lot of the
Yeah.
time. I think there was, and I got to tell you, we're doing these episodes because we're late to the party. We've missed out because we had a hurricane. So we're trying to catch up, and right now in the theater, there's like 10 films I wanted to see, and some of them are just instantly coming out of the theater.
Yeah, there's a lot I want to see too, but like, some of them are crap.
But those, well, the crap ones are the ones that stay in the theater and we actually go see first. And the ones that are most interested to me are the ones that are these underground ones that disappear real quick. There was
Right.
a Kate Winslet movie just out that I wanted to see really bad. It is not in the theater anymore.
The one where she's playing with
Yeah.
Miller.
I feel like it's called Lee.
Yeah.
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 And I wanted to see that really bad. And I believe it's already out of the theater. And there is a Donald Trump movie that I wanted to watch called The Apprentice. I wanted to see that really bad. And we wanted to see the movie about is it Pharrell? Not Pharrell.
Yes, it
It
is.
is Pharrell.
It's the Lego movie.
It's a Lego version of that. And I'm like, that's really intriguing. I want to see that.
It doesn't get cuter.
And we're so behind, we can't catch up. But luckily, Joe allowed me to pick this one tonight and see it. So I'm really stoked. And I am hoping for a 7. So
Hoping for a 7. We'll see what happens.
let's go check this out.
So, big night.
Look, my name is Lorne Michaels. I'm the producer of Saturday Night.
The whole night?
Yeah, the whole night.
Chevy Chase, Gilda Radner, Dan Iyek, how the fuck do you pronounce this?
You know, I was thinking, why don't we punt? We should run the dress rehearsal and claw back a win next Saturday.
We can't, Dick. It's a live show.
We're just not ready.
Doesn't matter that we're ready. It matters that it's 11:30. That's when we go on.
Lauren, all I'm trying to do is give you advice. It's in everyone's best interest, mainly yours.
All right, was that a threat?
Look around, Lauren. You haven't locked the script. Your crew is in open rebellion.
Fuck you, fuck you. I definitely fuck you.
The writers on the 17th floor tied a belt around Big Bird's neck and hung him from my dressing room door.
So tell me how you fit into this ensemble.
Oh, is this an ensemble?
And NBC makes more money playing reruns of The Tonight Show.
NBC is lucky to have something as relevant as this show.
Lauren, they don't even want it.
That's logical, Vic. That's why they're paying us all to be here.
I mean, Lauren, 90 minutes of live television by a group of 20-year-olds who have never made anything. Do you ever stop and wonder why they said yes? A counterculture show starring total unknowns with zero narrative and even less structure.
What the fuck?
They want you to fail.
We just have to make it to air.
We're back. We just saw the movie. And so, I guess the first thing to say about the movie is that it's as chaotic as you would expect a live show would be.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely felt like I was involved with the whole entire production. Just watching the movie, it felt like you were very immersed in their whole situation.
Yeah, and I know, of course, that it is, going out of its way to kind of condense a lot of the first season of the show into a moment. So in that sense, I understand that they are, a lot of this didn't happen at these times, and a lot of this is spots throughout the history.
Right.
And there are so many references and little Easter eggs and, to other events and things that will happen.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And so all of those moments kind of smashed up together to cause this chaotic event.
Right. Now I have a question. Was Lorne Michaels involved in this at all?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about it.
Because I would really like to know exactly, how true this was. Like, I know it's not exactly dead on balls accurate.
Oh,
but,
not even, no.
There's got to be at least some truth to some of this.
I'm sure that they were setting him up for failure. I'm sure that when this show happened, it was the riskiest, oddest thing that they allowed him to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I know a lot of things are definitely true. I know that Jim Henson and the writers did not get along. I know that was definitely true. I know that everybody was on drugs. Everybody was doing crazy things. I know almost all of that is true. I know that Jim Belushi was a pain. I know Jim Belushi and Chevy Chase didn't get along.
Well, I knew that Jim Belushi had a drug problem, but I didn't know that they didn't get along. I thought.
Do we keep saying Jim Belushi? Is it John Belushi?
I'm sorry, John Belushi.
I know. Why do we keep saying Jim? We did this on the other
they're
show,
brothers.
too.
I mean John Belushi.
Yeah, John Belushi and Chevy Chase didn't get along.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't.
Oh, bad. Yeah.
I knew a little bit, like they were all kind of like the girls were friends with everybody. Like I heard that Gilda got along with everybody.
Oh, even everybody, the cast and crew loved her. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But aside from that, like I didn't know anything about, all the first season people, like how their dynamic was together behind the scenes. I don't know about that. I would like to watch something about it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing about the movie is it is trying to hit a lot of things that that were happening behind the scenes in the whole production throughout the first season, and the movie is trying to hit those spots, but it has a job to do to try to create that chaos and also hit things that people will really love to see. It's trying to pay homage while also telling the tale of the chaos of an episode being created of the show, while also showing just how risky this thing was. And the fact that they even got it made and it has been as long lasting as it has been is, I think the movie does do that really well. Like a testament to the insanity of the creation of the show, the long running of the show. So in that sense, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to fall down the rabbit hole.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have been so fascinated by it, and I've read a lot of people's books who are in the cast and people who have, have experienced how insane this is. And I've watched a lot of interviews, and I really love it. Like Mark Maron, is had every time he's had someone on from the show, he would ask about it because he had a bad experience.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, trying to be on the show or a part of it.
Oh, okay.
And so, it was like a long running joke to meet Lorne and have him finally do the show. And he did finally. So it was like a cathartic moment for him. But yes, every cast member who has ever been on like one of those shows has told these stories. And so this is just really a combination of that insanity. And I think they did a great job of it. I think that he directed this fantastically.
I mean, yeah, for one thing, it does not even stop for 2 seconds. Like, you're immediately thrown in, just immediately.
Well, that's one of the things that I thought might be a con in this movie, is that when it does take a breath, it almost feels odd. Like, it kind of feels like the steam is being, the air is being let out.
Like,
you know
they
what I mean?
don't have time for down moments, but they seem to throw them in, which was a little weird, because you would come from this, like, Lorne's having a meltdown and he can't breathe, to, oh, I'm just gonna walk around New York City and stop at a bar. Like, it was weird. It was kind of off-putting to be in the hype and then thrown out of it like that.
Or the ice skating sequence.
And
which is, again, paying little tributes to events, because the ice skating is a staple on the show.
Yeah.
And people getting on stage is a staple of the show. They tried really hard to hit those beats in that moment of what that felt like and what was happening and where they are and the things that are like iconic to the show. The movie's trying to do all of that really quick, and I give it credit for doing it. But yeah, it is one of those things where it's, some people might actually be mad that it isn't telling the exact story. And I know, it's how do you tell that story and make it entertaining while also paying homage to the show itself?
Right. See, that's what I was telling you in the before, that I feel like if you go there, it's going to be like a 6-hour long movie, because there's just so much to tell. You can't, I mean, they gave some time to each individual player.
That's one of those things about the movie that might be the con that I was talking about, is that air moments. There's a couple times where characters will share their kind of like, what were they going through during the show?
Right.
And they feel odd. And I would say that a couple times, and I think a lot of it about the Garrett Morris and being played by actual Morris. Right.
I know, they're not related.
No, they're
that's
not.
Just a coincidence, right?
Yeah, he just, I know. Yeah,
because
it's just
that's
funny.
just scary. He did a great job.
Yeah, but I feel like that he was one of those moments where it was like, it felt odd. Like, that all of a sudden you're taken out, because this is moments of reflection for the characters overall and not really of the moment.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And there's one, he shares one with the actress playing Jane Curtin,
yeah,
I believe. And they're sharing a moment, and that feels odd. Or Lauren's wife, who was the producer, she shares a moment with Dan Aykroyd's, the actor playing Dan Aykroyd, and they share a moment of explanation that feels forced into the moment. And there's a lot of that where those might be the cons, because they kind of feel like it should be more about the chaos that Lauren is going through. When it comes off to someone else, it feels, you can tell this isn't real. You know what I mean? Like Chevy Chase's meeting with Milton Berle feels a little odd.
I feel that's very odd. I mean,
I hear these stories I've heard a lot of things about Milton Berle, and I was shocked to see that in this movie, but that stuff is apparently true. So
I did not know that about him, the kind of man that he was. See, I know Milton Berle, from movies and things like that, but I don't really know him. Like, I have not read into his past or who he is as a human. But wow, okay, so if that's true, and the way they portrayed him, we'll talk about that off. But yeah.
A ladies' man. We'll just say that. I mean, it's very, very, very well known.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine, whatever. But
So
yeah, but I just felt like one thing was really great about this movie, and that was definitely the casting. I'm gonna say that.
oh, so there's so many people in this that are nailing it, and you can look away if you didn't look at the film. If you just looked away, you knew who people were on screen.
Oh, 100% Billy Crystal. That actor killed it. I mean,
he was amazing.
Amazing.
There's a guy in, I don't know the actor. He is playing both Jim Henson and Andy Kaufman. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then the guy, the guy from the Maze Runner doing Dan Aykroyd.
Okay, that was fantastic.
Amazing.
We know his name is Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah, that was pretty damn accurate to me.
I mean, that was so good.
Yeah,
it was so good.
It was very, very good. Almost everybody nailed it.
Everybody did great.
When there's little bit people showing up, I was like, I know who that is.
Yeah.
You know, you just someone walked into a scene. The guy playing George Carlin. Excellent. I was like, they need to make a George Carlin movie with this guy.
I know.
Because every time he was on set, I was like, that is exactly his voice.
Yeah. I mean, the casting was spot on. It was just spot on.
Yeah. Was it the guys playing there's so many people. There's so many cameos and like references and jokes and people who are playing famous people behind the scenes. And they're really great. I don't even know who the guy is that's doing Don Pardo, but good Lord. Like even that's perfect.
It was fantastic. I mean, the casting was really good. But how would you rate this like as a movie overall?
Well, that's what I was saying about it. I can see the con is definitely these moments that feel shoved in to explain to the audience what's happening. But what I loved about it was the chaos. I loved that feeling of being shoved into the live production of the first episode. And the chaos that was happening behind the scenes with all these huge celebrities, these big personalities, drugs, all of that, that chaos. I feel like this movie captures it really, really well.
Yeah.
And for that, I absolutely loved it. Like, I really loved that. And so with those cons, and they do come and they do feel weird. Like there's a part in this movie, and none of it's really spoilers because, it's a movie and you kind of know it's about a true event. Mm-hmm. So you kind of know where it's already going and you know what's happening and the pressure is this might fail on live TV and we might have to shut it down. That's what it is. And what if someone curses and all that? And that's some interesting stuff. But there is a scene in this movie where a character is telling the other character that this is not going to go on air. We're going to shut it down. Mm-hmm. And then a whole bunch of characters start doing things to sell what it is. And it feels like there's no way this happened.
Yeah.
And it feels fake. And I guess that is definitely a con moment for me. But when it is doing what it's doing well, it's doing a great job. And it is super entertaining to see that. But I can see some people might say, oh, it's just cosplay at the end of the day. I can see that. I think that happens with a lot of biography movies.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose you're right. But I mean, it's hard to have this many cast members and, devote too much and try to get too immersed in your character because you don't have enough screen time. Like you're literally like snapping your fingers, boom, 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 and it's on to the next person. Boom, it's on to the next person. So like, to be fully immersed in the role, and I think they were for their screen time, these actors you would have to devote more time to them,
and I think I would have also been okay if this was a longer movie and they did the birth of the idea, the getting of the comedians. I think I would have enjoyed that.
See, that's what I wanted to see.
How did they all meet? Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see that.
This movie is definitely just about getting it to air that night. And I think it captures that insanity well.
Yeah.
But yes, does it make you want more? Absolutely. Would I have enjoyed a movie that was just about Lorne Michaels producing this and what happened behind the scenes with producing it.
I could watch a whole movie.
About that.
Yeah, just on his life. I could watch a whole movie just based on him.
I mean, they reference like he found these comedians, all these people behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
He just found random people, and it's like there's a lot of people with him along that journey, and I really, whoever the casting director is, the people who are picking these comedians and finding these people, fascinating, and I would love to know or see more of that. But yeah, this is definitely, for what it's trying to do, I think it does it pretty well.
Yeah, I would just like to see the beginning. I just want to see how he came about this, There's just a little bit more I need, but overall, it was a pretty decent, entertaining film.
Yeah.
With really good performances, so I'm going to give it a 6.
Oh, wow. Okay. See, I enjoyed it more. I was hoping for a 7, and I think I got it. I never was bored, and there wasn't a moment where I was ever let down. And I think a movie that makes you want more is doing a damn good job.
Yeah, but I feel like it was lacking a little bit in that department. I feel like I just needed just a little something extra here. Okay. It was just too, right into it, and I appreciate that, but I feel like, okay, well, I feel we're missing some parts, It's like the machine is working, but the wheel just fell off, I just need a little bit extra, like put that wheel back on. That's all. Yeah,
I can see that. I get it. I just, for what it is, it's definitely a fun little movie. And I do think everybody is stellar in it. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody's doing a great job of imitating other people. And I enjoyed that. So I'm definitely landing on a 7. It is definitely, it's not even a good movie. It's pretty damn good. I thought it was very entertaining for what it was doing. Mm-hmm. And I think that his directing, I don't know if there was a lot of, a lot of people say, they're sick of it, but the single takes, the one take
the
where
long
they're following, the long takes where they're following characters moving around for a while. I don't know if there was a lot of that going on, but it felt like it. And I thought that was really good because it definitely adds to that chaos. And so on the set, if they were doing that, that's even harder to do. Mm-hmm. And I think pretty good. I wish the whole movie was one single take. That would have been really cool.
Oh, yeah. I think
that would have been cool.
That would have been a feat for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I got exactly what I wanted to get out of it.
Yeah,
so
kudos to Reitman. I mean, he did good.
He did good. So, yeah. Okay. So, a 6 and a 7. Yeah. All right. Thanks for, coming and listen. I would love to hear everybody's thoughts. Hit us up on Instagram at Just Another Movie Night and Joe at the Crafty Misfit, and share your thoughts. And if you didn't even see this movie, go check it out. I think I definitely recommend it. I'm sure it won't last in the theaters long. There's a lot of big contenders right now. So, and another one next week, I believe. So, yeah. Thanks for listening as always. And until next time, see ya. Bye.
Am I still in the show? Jesus Christ. Sorry, tripped over my penis.